Saka tries one.
On the power play, Sakic fakes it, takes it, scores! Joe Sakic, power play goal!
Welcome, everybody. Yeah, we're back. We are back. Sorry about the delay, guys. We were just making sure. At first, I was making sure that I had an outro. Look, Connor made me this awesome outro, which you guys are going to see. And then I was trying to give Dal some time, aka Oregon Gooner, back to get back from what he was doing, because I absolutely screwed up the scheduling because I'm in Denver and I got completely turned around, different time zones and that, So I will make sure that does not happen again. Apologies to everybody that was waiting. I apologize for the delay. It will not happen again, at least not in recent memory, so people will forget when I do it again, if that makes sense. Anyway, we got Jez, we got Connor back on the American Idiot Show. This is episode 7. We will be discussing a little bit of Arsenal. We covered the Arsenal game yesterday. If you want to go back and watch that preview, it was an epic show. We had a lot of really, really good commentary. We had Del Boy come on. We had Prince Fowd come on. It was a great show, great conversation. So go back for an in-depth conversation about Arsenal, Southampton, and just Arsenal in general. Go back to that video that we put up yesterday. We are going to be discussing the absolute meltdown going on at Chelsea Football Club and Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, as well as our normal Premier League predictions and our normal guys. I don't want to play spoiler alert here, but our normal guys that usually do really, really well kind of put in a stinker. Okay. So I'm looking at you, Jaminho, man. That was a rough one, my friend. That was a rough one. But we'll get into that a little bit later. Let's go around. Let's have our guests introduce themselves. Jez, how are you today, my man?
Oh, good, mate. All good. Yeah, thanks for having me on once again. Always a pleasure. Lovely to come on your show. We talk the talk and we walk the walk. It's a real show here. No bullshit. We just get on with it. And yeah, and may I say, mate, well done. Your channel's building, blossoming, and fair play. And big up to Connor for doing all your graphics again.
It's looking great. It's looking great. Yeah, we got a massive outro coming, and it's gonna rock the internet. I already know. Connor, how you doing, my man?
I'm all good, man. I'm all good. I'm looking forward to the game tomorrow. It's quite weird having a Friday night game. I think this is our first Friday night game this season, so hopefully we can get a win and I can have a nice weekend. That's what I'm hoping for. A good win and a nice weekend ahead of it. And it's FA Cup weekend as well, isn't it? I believe in some aspects. So in some teams. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the show as well. Thank you very much for having me on. I think this is my first American Idiot show.
This is your first time. Yeah. You've done previews and reviews with me, but this is the first time you've been on the American Idiot Show. Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm actually looking forward to talking topics other than Arsenal. So we're definitely gonna talk. Yes, there he is.
Co-host with the most.
Hi guys.
The co-host with the most has joined us. Dal, I sorry, I had to get it started, man. We had people. I
had an emergency 15-minute work meeting. I had to be in there for, so it's cool.
No worries, man. How are you doing?
Excellent. I'm pretty hyped, man. Had a great video with Jez just an hour or so ago. Southampton at home. I hope we fucking do them 3-1. But I'm still worried, of course. We have Rob Holding in the lineup, and it's no mystery that we've given up 4 goals with Rob Holding in defense. But I think we're going to do it. I said, I told Jez 3-1. I'm hoping we play a 4-2-3-1, and I want to see Jorginho and Partey in the back because I want the back 4 stable. I think the 2 of them would be okay. Let Partey move up a bit. Let him put some shots into the top stand, right? Let him push up. Xhaka needs a break. Zinchenko probably needs a break. Saka maybe. Anyway.
Hey, no, I'm all for it. As long as we're not conceding, if we concede against Southampton, especially if we concede first, it is going to be peak.
It's going to be peak, bro.
Peak.
Yep.
Oh, I don't even want to think about it.
If we draw or lose, the season's over as far as I'm concerned.
No, that's just math.
Yeah. But the thing is, guys, remember there's 21 points to play for. That's still a lot of football. It's a lot of minutes.
Yeah.
City's got 24 points to play for. There's still a lot to play for. I don't want to count us out yet, but we needed that Liverpool win just as much as we needed the West Ham win, and we should not have a hangover from those two games. We should go out there and absolutely pound Southampton. But I'm not going to go 4 or 5-0.
Yeah, no, I hear you 100%. Well, the last time I went 4-0. I should. You know what? Now I remember what I was supposed to do. I was supposed to name this stream the American Idiot Show Episode 7 # Dal was right.
Yeah.
Because the you absolutely called the Liverpool hangover, man, and that was you are Nostradamus. We're Dalstradamus over here. I was still fuming though. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Jaminho, are you gonna do midweek's predictions as well when you're doing predictions? I'm probably gonna have to do. We're probably gonna, because we have Man City. Now we need to talk about that because we have Man City on Wednesday. I want to do. Obviously, we need to do predictions for that too. We might need to do just like a little one-off prediction show for the midweek fixtures. I think we might need to do that. But yeah, no, good question, Jaminho. I know you're looking to bounce back, and I don't blame you because you got cooked last week, my man. Cooked. I'm gonna bounce back. No room for error. It'll be maximum points. Trust me. Hey, we'll see, bro. We'll see. We'll see. Check it out for the show. You got it, Jaminho. I will. Palace game on the opening day was a Friday, I believe. Okay, cool. Welcome everybody. Yeah. Welcome. Yeah. Arsenal forever. Welcome in, my friend. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. We've been having a really, really good steady stream of absolute legends in the chat. My subs have gone skyrocketing, and I know it's because of you guys, so I really, really appreciate it. So Man U's losing. They're down 2-0 to Sevilla. That's awesome.
I reckon that's curtains for them. I don't think they'll crawl back. I watched a bit of the game, and it's weird how Sevilla are 13th in the table in the Liga, but yet they can smash Man United.
They're Euro monsters, man. In European competition, they're monsters.
Their competition. They win it all the time, practically whenever they're in it, especially the last years.
Yeah, you're right, Connor. That's one of the weirdest European ties now with them. They've won it, 3 out of 5 years?
Yeah.
I mean, it's very strange how they're just crap in their league, but they all of a sudden turn up for the Europa League. I don't get it. Just it's very strange.
Yeah, isn't it just? But it's what it is. I'm happy that Man United are out because as soon as we got knocked out by Sporting, all my Man United friends going, you're this, you're that. Yeah, well, there you go. And I think didn't they get knocked out by Sevilla in the final by penalties, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. So here we go again. But it is what it is. It's what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Jaminho, I just read your Insta and I banned him. Thanks for letting me know. I didn't see him in there. Appreciate it. And I'm not going to say his name. I do not want to see us throw a 2-0 lead. I don't want to see. We can't have this kind of energy in here, man. It's absolutely possible for it to happen, but I don't want to think about it. Obviously, on the ball. Big up, lads. Big up yourself on the ball. Big up yourself. Thanks for coming by. Declan Rice goal. Shocker.
Okay.
They're playing Ghent. Ghent sucks.
Yeah.
Mr. Tom, good evening. Thank you very much for the luck. Dietrich's Kane in the cut. Dietrich's. We're going to start talking about Spurs, so hang around. Don't go over to Tottenham away just yet. We're going to start mudding your team. Anthony, big up. Big up. Thanks for coming by. Carl Rossi, absolute legend. Big up, Carl. Thanks for coming by. My man. Yep. Yeah, we're on one today. All right, so let's talk about it. I want to talk to you guys, and it's actually we had planned for this before Lee released his video, absolutely roasting Dan Levy and telling him that he's basically saying that he's ruining English football, and I absolutely agree. I hate Tottenham Hotspur more than I can actually say. I get along with some of their fans, the one that don't talk absolute shit. But there are some smart ones in there that just want the best for their football club and just want the best for English football. And Daniel Levy, in my albatross on the sport, is in it. He's one of those people who's just in it for making money, commercializing the club, and just basically not caring about putting a winning product on the field. And they're for our case, it's good because we're just going to mud Spurs every season. But if this is the direction that other football clubs are going to go in, because greedy owners just trying to get suck money out of the club, that's a bad way to go, and it's going to start losing fans to the sport across the world. I mean, it's the biggest league in the world, and we're about to get mudded. Is there an echo? Am I hearing an echo? Sorry.
No.
I feel like it might just be me. Okay. Anyway, let's. I want to talk about it with you though, Dal. What do you think about the current state of Spurs from ownership down?
I think it's fantastic. I don't see what they need to change at all. I mean, they're pushing top 6 every year. They've got Beyonce coming. They've got a Formula F1 racer. Lewis Hamilton loves them. What's to change? Daniel Levy's right. We've always been the best. They've always been our second underclassmen. Why change? I mean, what's really going to change there anyway? Right?
Yeah.
They really have no real history, no real trophy case. It's nobody wants to come there, unless they're going to make a nice bag, which all footballers are making bags now. So, yeah, TJ, Jazz, Connor, I don't really give a shit. I think they're great where they're at right now.
Do you think owners like Daniel Levy are ruining the sport?
Yes, because he's a prick. Yeah, of course he's ruining the sport. He's ruined that club from top to bottom over the last 15 years. Let's be honest. They pissed away the Gareth Bale money. They got 98 million for Gareth Bale, 90 mil. They bought crap with that money, went nowhere. They only succeeded in top 4 because we were crap with the final years of Wenger. And would have made different moves in Wenger's last few years, Tottenham Hotspur wouldn't even be in a Champions League conversation. So let's be real. It's the fact of the matter is, Connor said it before. A lot of us have talked about it before. Jez has said it before in previous streams. It's a money grab. There goes Jez. It's kind of a money grab for them to just, keep bringing celebrities and making it kind of a tourist attraction. I don't have a problem where they're at. They can stay exactly where they're at and not change a thing. That has no effect on me or our club of what we're trying to do, right? We've always been better than them. We'll always be better than them. We get the better players. We play the better football. We have the better stadium. We have much more better educated fans. And, yeah, we can spell. We can do the alphabet. We can do mathematics. A lot of these things that we talk about with Tottenham Hotspur, they just don't exist. They're not a club. They can't spell. They can't read. Can't write. The fans pretty much stink a lot of the time. They'll never win a trophy, and so yeah, I just think it's great where they're at right now. I don't change a thing. Don't change a thing.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to clip that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna have to clip that. I'm shamelessly using that. Jez.
Yeah. And may long it continue. Daniel Levy is the best thing for Tottenham Hotspur Football Club because he will take them to ruin. And a lot of people talk to me and say, "Well, you're an Arsenal fan." Yeah, I actually hate Man United more than Spurs.
Me too.
Because Spurs are nothing. They're nothing. All they are is noisy neighbours down the road. And they like to give it the big one, making out they're something, big club, this, big club, that. They're nothing. They're crap. And this guy, Daniel Levy, has made the statement. that he wants to bring money into the club, doing Beyonce and these other artists. Great. Love it. Personally, I've got no time for these artists. I know nothing about them and I don't care about them. And the fact that they've done this, is it go-karting F1 thing? I mean,
It's like a go-kart. Yeah, it's like an F1 sponsored go-kart track.
yeah, great. Good luck to them. Love it. Fantastic. All the time they concentrate on that, well, Daniel Levy is, means their team is shit. And that's how they are. And they never achieve anything. So crack on, Daniel Levy. Make it into an investable club that goes nowhere, achieves nothing, and the fans can moan and cry about that they're a big club. Well, sorry guys, you're not. You haven't won a league championship since 1961. Oh, that was the year I was born. But it is what it is. Move on. Shut yourselves up because you're crap. Now, having said that, there are certain YouTube channels out there that actually speak fact. And I'm talking Tottenham. Tottenham. There are certain people, Henry Wright, blah, blah, blah. They actually speak the fact. And I've got respect for those people. But there's a lot of people out there that actually talk absolute crap and they haven't got a clue what they're talking about. And live with it. Live with it because unfortunately, basically, sorry guys, you're crap.
Right, and part of it too, Jez, is where does Daniel Levy think he is saying some of those things? I mean, he's such a volatile character and kind of a villain in all of English football. I just don't understand why he comes out with all these comments and talking like he's Billy Big Pants. I don't get it. I don't know what was the purpose of him even come out publicly and saying some of the things that he did. Was he pressed in an interview or something?
But is he really the king of football? Because I think you have to.
Probably not.
I think you have to look at Arsenal.
Yeah.
Arsenal are a way, way, way bigger club than Tottenham. You have to agree with that.
For sure.
That's a fact.
Right.
But the way Arsenal move in their management and their investment into players is pretty much no different to Tottenham.
Mm-hmm.
Really, is it any different? Really, when you're top of the league, when you're top of the league in the January transfer window, and you buy a couple of players, you think, who the hell are they?
Right.
What? If you're seriously in the game, right? If you're seriously going to go, well, yeah, we want to win the Premier League. Why buy a player nobody's ever heard of?
Yeah, I know. The Kiwior is a good example. He's a perfect Tottenham signing from what we've seen so far. I mean, I don't. We've talked about this before on other streams, guys. Connor, kick in whenever you want.
Yeah.
That we're still buying younger players like Kiwior and trying to fit them in to a title-running team, right? Why don't we just get Kiwior, loan him out, get him some experience, and then bring him in? What do you think, Connor? Do you think we should push Kiwior at this time?
The problem is with us, I think, and we've done it a couple of times, especially this summer just gone, I believe, when we brought in Austin Trusty from Colorado Rapids. We were doing this thing where we were bringing in 2 Americans and Matt Turner and Austin Trusty. And then, yes, we kept Matt Turner as our secondary goalkeeper. But in my opinion, someone like Austin Trusty, I maybe in a preseason, but I never properly see him wearing an Arsenal shirt. And this is where the problem lies is, as a club for Arsenal, I want us to see us, if we want to bring in young talent, I want us to bring in proven young talent. Someone like a Jude Bellingham, for example.
Sure.
Players who between maybe 19, 21, but they've had the experience. Someone even like Jacob Ramsey at Aston Villa, he's been fantastic this season for them.
Right.
And that's the thing I'd like to bring on. There's someone like Kivior, unfortunately, and I don't think many Arsenal fans actually heard of him before he even came. Like, I didn't even know, apart from playing for the Polish national team at the World Cup, no clue who he was. Never seen him before play football. I don't watch the Serie A. But if we're, as a club, as Arsenal, we should be bringing in talent that's already been proven themselves if they want to be young. Because by all means, I love bringing in young talent because they can become really good and make a name for themselves. And in the end, if you do want to sell them, they could go for a very high price. You know, Saka's the perfect example for that when we brought him up from the academy.
Right.
We shouldn't be bringing in these guys or these kids. We don't want to call them kids because they're older than me, but these young players who, in my opinion, don't fit the level, and also we know they won't be starting because, in my opinion, we'll bring in these players and we'll just loan them out constantly, and I don't think we'll barely ever do anything with them. And someone like Austin Trusty is a perfect example. He's had an all right season with Birmingham, but they haven't had a good time in the league. He's had a few good performances from what I've seen, but it's just a waste, in my opinion. And perfect example again, this Marquinhos kid, I don't see him going far for Arsenal whatsoever. I bet he'll be loaned again out next season. Excuse me. I bet he'll be loaned out again next season. He'll come back, and I bet we'll sell him because he's not a proven talent, you know. And I know I could probably can't really justify myself because we did bring in Martinelli, and no one really knew about him. And yes, he turned out to be a very good player, but I don't want to risk that. And, you know, yes, you can get a one-off like Martinelli, but I don't see this Marquinhos fella being like Martinelli, in my opinion.
No way.
I think Martinelli is a very special gem that we've got, and you've got to rate what they done. I think it wasn't Eddie. This was before Eddie when we got Martinelli, and you got to rate the scouting in that sense. But in my opinion, we've got to be going for young talents that have proven themselves. In my opinion, none of this, you know, we'll send him out on loan. You might be all right, and then nothing happens. And it's such a waste of time as well. And that signing in Kivior could have been someone else Premier League proven and could have really helped us. And it's a really, really weird one, but I love Lewis Dunk at Arsenal from Brighton. He is so solid as a centre-back. He's been very good for Brighton this season. Mm-hmm. He's just a solid English, tall, strong centre-back. I need to be someone like Kivior who's never played a Premier League game in their life. And we're just sitting here thinking, what's gonna happen?
Here's where I'm going to challenge you, Connor. Is Dunk good enough? He's good, but is he great? Is he going to get us a Champions League title? I mean, that's where I think, like, okay, Lewis Dunk is better, but why not push for someone like Ronald Araujo? Why aren't we going for Conde? Yeah. Why aren't we pushing for Konate, Indikia, these top French, top center backs? Why not take Trusty and Kiwi or take that money, dish them off, take the money, put some more money in there and go get a top guy that we can use game in, game out, or every other game, and you know that is fantastically better than Kiwi or Trusty. Connor, that's where I challenge you, my friend. Where I think Lewis Dunk. I mean, he's good, but Lewis Dunk, Connor.
I completely agree. I think maybe he's a player that I probably overrate a lot because I'll try to watch all the games I can, and he's been very good. I think I say Lewis Dunk in the sense of a January transfer way. Mm-hmm. Like if I were to pick someone else, it would have been him. One thing I want to say on is a name that you mentioned. Evan Dicker is someone I'd love to come to Arsenal. Mm-hmm. Left-footed on a free contract in the summer. And the amount of times we've been linked with him in news outlets, constantly his name's been mentioned. And he's a very tall centre-back, very fast, left-footed. You know, he can perfectly slot in if something happens to Gabriel. Yep. And the stature of that, I know you said the likes of Koundé and Araujo from Barcelona, but I don't mention their names because I'm worried that who do we start? I know that's probably a good conversation to have, but would they want to come if they know they may not play every game in the season? And then the likes of Saliba or Gabriel could get cut off. That's why I don't talk about them very much. But someone like Evan Ndicka is definitely a centre-back I could see rotating a lot for Arsenal. Mm-hmm. And the fact that he's left-footed, he can go in that Gabriel position as well. So, yeah, I say the thing about Lewis Dunk as a January type level. If I say about him, and in my opinion, I do think as a backup, I would be more happy with him than Rob Holding. Like I think anyone would be happy with anyone than Rob Holding, in my opinion. Right. But listen, we've just got to step off our levels when it comes to academy in like young kids, in my opinion. Because let's be honest, how many times have we brought a youngster to Arsenal in the last 10 years? How many times has that worked out?
Not much.
Yeah, exactly.
Can I ask you a question? And I'm sorry, guys, I had a massive internet blowout over here, so my fault. I'm glad to hear that we're talking Arsenal, because I have a really, really good question. What happened to Charlie Patino? I thought he was supposed to be like the next big thing. What happened to him?
He's teared up. Well, I say teared up. I don't think he's done that great. Blackpool fans love him. He's on loan, they love him. But again, unless something really drastic happens, he doesn't seem like a player. I think he's only, 18? And the problem is, when he came on in that Sunderland game and that cup game, and he scored that last-minute goal, but we won the game anyway. This is the problem with social media, in my opinion.
He's 19, by the way. He's 19.
He's my age.
Yeah.
He's literally my age. And I look at that and I think, Jesus, the amount of money he's earning, and here I am. No, but on a real note, this is, in my opinion, and people may disagree, this is the problem with social media. That goal happened with Patino, and it was hyped everywhere. News outlets. Arsenal's new young star.
Yeah, when we were beating League One Sunderland up.
Yeah, and it's just like, my God, we've got to stop hyping these players. And he hasn't even had a proper Premier League professional game. He's played against Sunderland. Like, don't get me wrong, he could be a fantastic English talent in the future. You know, he's done all right at Blackpool. Blackpool fans love him a lot. They don't want him to leave, apparently. But, you know, you've got to stop hyping them, because then... Do you know what, TJ? Perfectly, you brought it up, because I completely forgot about him. I'm going to be completely real with you. And that's in no disrespect towards him. It's the fact that that one thing happened, it was hyped up for the next couple of months, because he was actually on the bench for the rest of the season, I believe, when he scored that. I think it was last season. He was on the bench for the rest of the season. He's been loaned out to Blackpool. He's done all right, but I don't see him coming back and getting even on the bench.
Nah,
he shouldn't be. He should be loaned out again, but... This is the problem with social media. We will absolutely bang out and just promote every bang average player that have one good game. And all these Arsenal fan accounts, some of them that do news pages and all that, will hype them up so much that they're the next big thing, when it might even not be. You know, and that's the problem when we bring in these young players like Marquinhos. I saw a lot of people hyping him up as well. Well, he scored one Europa League goal. Like, come on now. And I know he didn't get many chances. He's only, 19 as well, 20?
Yeah, something like that.
But again,
he's Brazilian too, Connor, so people hype that up.
You know, 100%. Any Brazilian talent, it's the next Neymar Jr., it's the next Ronaldinho, it's all this and it's that. And that's the problem with social media. The players have got to, if the player does the talking on the pitch, i.e. Saka, Jude Bellingham, Martinelli, just to name a few, you know, if they do the talking on the pitch, for Kyle Tomori, I think he's fantastic, by the way.
I want Tomori now.
100%. If they do the talking on the pitch, do it. Hype them up, but don't be hyping up these kids and they'll put a lot of pressure on them as well, in my opinion. They'll put a lot of pressure on them as well. Well done, he scored a goal against Sunderland. Okay, nice one. You've done well at Blackpool. Loan him out again. And honestly, guys, I don't even think he'll stay at Arsenal. There's so many times we've had players at Arsenal that have English players from the academy that have come up, loaned out until they're 21, 22, 23, and then they're shipped off to the Championship. It's how it works, man. It's how it works. So we've got to stop hyping players after one game, you know? And people were hyping Tavares when he came. Look at him now. We don't even want him back, you know? So...
And everybody was slagging Serge Gnabry off, and he goes to Bayern Munich, becomes a world beater.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
It's kind of a...
Sorry, I'm going to go on a bit of a rant here. I know we're going to be talking
Go.
We've got to stop letting go of these good talents. I was fuming when Donyell Marlin left. And he became such a good talent. Did he play for PSV before he went to Dortmund? Was it PSV? Yes. And he was brilliant when he was playing at PSV. And obviously he went to Dortmund. He hasn't had a great season, I don't think, this year. But he was still a great talent. Serge Gnabry has been at Bayern for how many seasons now? I think Rennie Adelaide was going to be a good French talent. I know he's still at Lyon, but still another great talent, you know. And so many times it's happened where we've let go of such good talents, you know. Yeah. And I hate to say it, but I wish we were like Chelsea. They've got talent left, right, and centre. Every time out of their academy, it's new players, new that. And if we were Chelsea, I would be hyping up all these players, but we just don't have them at the moment, you know. And I do look at Patino, and I think maybe someone like Balogun, he'll come back from France. Hopefully, I I don't want him to transfer because I really do want to see if he can prove it in the Prem. Do the same with Patino, because Balogun was actually proving it in the Premier League 2 division below where all the kids play. He was scoring goal after goal after goal. I know it's only the Premier League 2. It's not the same as the Premier League. But I see that, and I see him going to France, tearing up for Reims, or Rems, or what they call them. And I'm like, okay, now I'm excited. Hype him up. Don't be hyping up a player after one goal in a cup. You know, if he does the same as Balogun, you know, has an outstanding season, send him off somewhere, not hopefully League One Championship level. Really get him maybe into a Premier League side, hopefully, on loan. Let him prove himself in the league, and then maybe we'll start talking about him. But like I was saying, back to my point, we've got to stop hyping these kids who might not even play well for Arsenal, you know. And going on your point, Dow, you know, we've got to really do step up the level. I don't want to see in the summer we try to improve on maybe a position in the substitutes bench as a kid, like a 19-year-old. We need experienced players in the Champions League, man. We don't need these youngsters who are going to be good. Mudryk, perfect example of that. Hey, listen, I was going off topic there, but that was
fine.
One thing I want to say too is I would take a Lewis Dunk, but I also want another one level up big,
100%,
right? Like I'm nothing against Lewis Dunk. He's done well for Brighton in the Premier League, and that's a good shout. But I just don't think he's like the one to really take us to the glory land, right? I mean, he's just not that guy.
Sure.
You know, but then sometimes you like top defensive players, like I said, Arreu and Conde from Barcelona. Those just came off the top of my head. Those players have shit games too, right? You've seen them make mistakes or heard them make mistakes, or seen on YouTube and so forth. So to think that we're going to get a top defender in like Indica and he's not going to make mistakes is pretty foolish of us, right? Everyone's going to make mistakes down the line somewhere.
Yeah.
So a Lewis Dunk would be great, but I just think that we would need something extra special along with that.
Agreed. No, I agree. And kind of pivoting to that kind of reminds you brought up Mudryk, so maybe we can pivot to Chelsea just a little bit. Yeah. I know, and we're all over the place, and I love it. I don't care. I love the conversation. But I was in a chat with it was actually a Man United call-in show. I went on a Man United call-in show last night, and I had somebody in there try to pass off that Mudryk was a good signing. I had a Chelsea fan try to convince me that Mykhailo Mudryk is a signing for the future at Chelsea. The Ukrainian backstreet boy is.
I can agree with that, but the price tag is ridiculous.
You don't pay $90 million for a project. That's my point. You could tell that Todd Bowley obviously went on, Twitter Spaces and heard everybody bigging up Mykhailo Mudryk. He's going to be the next big thing, and then he went out and bought him for $90 million, expecting him to go in.
Going back to my point, this is the perfect example of why social media is messing up football. Mudryk had compilation after compilation after compilation after compilation on YouTube, and then as soon as Fabrizio Romano reported him as like Arsenal wanted him, and then the hype builds, and then the price tag goes up, and then as soon as Shakhtar see all this hype around him, they're like, we're going to profit off this. We're going to retake this. They got 110 million pounds, like between 100 and 110 million pounds out of him. And I'm thinking, oh my God, we would have been fools if we'd done that. And that's nothing against Mudryk. He can be a great talent in the next few years. I'm not denying that. But the price tag is just ridiculous. And I do think social media has a part to play in that. Because if that move went under the radar, because sometimes Chelsea do moves under the radar for these 19-year-olds from America or from here, there, and everywhere, they're very unnoticed, and they normally go into the academy or play for the under-21s. As soon as we started talking about Mudryk, then everything went up. And then as soon as the hype around him went up, and there were people, Arsenal fans, and these guys just posting compilations of him because he had 2 good games in the Champions League this season. And then as soon as they see that, I swear, I do genuinely believe it. The club who owns the player will think, let's really take out on this. We've seen the hype. Let's really raise the bar now. And I generally think Shakhtar went out of that deal laughing. I really do. I really think they went out of that deal.
No, absolutely.
Why do they care? Why, at the end of the day, they've lost one player. They've just got 100 million profit out of a $25 million player. It's ridiculous.
Shakhtar sells all their best players. Willian, Fred, Mykhailo Mudryk, Dennis. They had a couple of other names I can't pronounce. Hey, what do you think, Jez? You think Mikhail Mudryk is a good deal for $100 million?
No.
7-year contract.
Do you think social media is ruining football,
Yeah,
Jez?
yeah, that's a good question, Jez. Social media is killing football.
Yeah, it is because everybody hypes it up. Arsenal, I admire Arsenal for what they did, and you know me. I haven't got a lot of time for the Arsenal management. In fact, I've got no time at all. But they put a sensible offering to a point, and they didn't get him. Chelsea did. I'm glad they did because I'm sorry for what they paid for him. I'm glad we didn't get him because I kind of made the comment that why would you pay that money for a project? No, you don't. You pay that sort of money for an established player that will win you and shore up your team. And I'm sorry, he may in a year's time come to the fore. But no, I'm glad we didn't get him. I've not seen anything from him that makes me think he's worth that sort of money. And I'll also make the point of we bought this Kivois, what his name is, right? And he could be good. He could, but Arteta, I think, has been ridiculous at times. In like, dare I put this again? Why would you put an inexperienced central defender in midfield in a game at Anfield? Why would you do that? Because that is basically just saying to the fella, I'm throwing you under the train. Because he wouldn't know the atmosphere at Anfield. He wouldn't get it. He wouldn't go. What? I just don't understand, man, why you put a central defender inexperienced in midfield.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a ridiculous,
ridiculous
thing.
Who played a FIFA video game, Jez, wouldn't even make that move.
Yeah, I want to no because your stats literally go down for putting him in the wrong position.
Yeah, and that's where like even our friend here, Darren Sullivan, has said. It's just some of the decisions that Arteta makes. It's just mind-boggling, and you wonder what the hell he's thinking when we've done so good for so long at the first half of the season, and then he makes some dumb shit moves, and like Jez says, you just want to slap the shit out of him because it's like. It's so off base of what we as fans expect, right? It's completely out of the blue. He brought Kiwior on. We're all looking for Jorginho. I don't even remember if he was on yet. It's like you specifically bought him to fill that role.
Yep.
And you bring that Polish freaking Kiwi on, no offense, but it just boggles the mind, bro.
In my opinion. Yeah, and Darryl, in my opinion, I think Jez has said this multiple times as well. He can't handle big games. In my opinion, the pressure gets to him, and unfortunately, sorry people who love him, it shows his inexperience as a manager, and it's just true. I'm sorry to burst your bubble. It does, and I'm not fucking gonna rain.
I'm so offended right now.
Yeah, but like, I'm not gonna rain hell down on him because I'm not going to. I'm not the type of person. But it just shows his inexperience, and that's why I'm worried for the City game. And he does panic in these games. And I think Jez pointed it out. You'll notice Arteta loves to be vocal in his box. He'll even try to get on the pitch if he wants to. He's so far out of his box all the time. But as soon as you know something's up, he'll be like this. And he'll look, and he won't know what to do. And he'll probably look to his backroom staff to think, what are we going to do it? And it just shows his inexperience, unfortunately. But over time, he'll probably get better. But those decisions that he made at Anfield is due to inexperience, in my opinion. And unfortunately, that's the way it is when you bring in a manager who this is his first proper managerial role, first team manager.
But the Kiwi thing, the Kiwi or sub though was just beyond the pale, right?
Yeah,
it's like I mean, it really is. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like you bring him, you buy him as a CB, you advertise him as a CB, you position him as a CB, and then you bring him on to perform miracles at one of the most difficult grounds in world football. When you have, I mean, Pat Vieira would have been a better sub, and I don't even rate him at all.
Ugh.
These are the things that it gets me worried for the run-in.
Yeah.
And I know they worry you guys too. It's going to be the subs down at the end. It's going to be our man management and how Arteta manages these last games with the players we have available.
Yep.
And from what we've seen, boys, from the last couple games, it's not looking good. He doesn't have a clear plan. And like Jez has said, and many of us before, there's no plan B. If Keyword is the plan B, we're in shit trouble.
And that's why I want hold on, let me get back to what Darren said. That's why I want Edu out. That is my new thing. Here, how do I point to it? Yeah, over here. Edu out. I want him out. I want him gone immediately. Expeditiously. And Darren, I wanted to respond to this. You can laugh, but at least Chelsea paid the money. Yeah, for what? For what? We don't know yet. Say Arsenal are guilty of the same thing. Bad investments.
You know what? That's another thing, and this is on Chelsea now because we'll probably have to go on to Tottenham in a minute. But Chelsea, and in my opinion, it's all happy and smiley now that they're spending all this money. Just to reiterate, they spent $500 million and they're 11th, and I don't think like that's. I generally don't feel like that's being talked enough. I really don't. Like you've spent £500 million or dollars, whatever it was, and you're not even mid-table.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how is this not being talked about? I swear to God, I don't know if it's just me as an Arsenal fan, but if this was Arsenal, we'd be ripped into. I generally don't think Chelsea are being talked enough about the situation, and I really do think that this man Todd Boehly is going to run Chelsea into the ground. I think he's going to run them into some serious debt because if he spent, I know he's all rich and net worth this and net worth that, but over time, I really do think that man will run that club into debt, especially if he spends that amount of money every season. And people like Todd Boehly are making players like Bellingham, who's only 19. He's not even 25. He's not even halfway through his career yet. He's 19, and he's being evaluated at around 140 million. I wouldn't even pay that. He's a fantastic talent. He's going to be England's future, in my opinion. But you can't be paying that much money for a player. And you look at teams who are lower down in the table, they'll think, how the hell are we going to progress as a team? How are we going to do a Leicester City and try and really change things up and win a league if we're going to have to spend, if we really want to get a big player and a big signing, and have to spend up to 70, 80 odd million if we can't even afford that? So it's not just the big six who are going to have to worry about paying these big money. If these players like Bellingham are going up for 140, what are players that aren't really near his talent but are pretty good going to be like for teams right down below? You know, like a Palace, like a Fulham. You know, like what are they going to do? Like, and people like Boehly, in my opinion, are ruining football, are ruining the market. And I hate to say it, I think even the City owners are doing it. And that's why, in my eyes, I was quite glad that United might not be getting those Qatari owners in, because it's just going to ruin football. You'll be it will turn to a point where teams are actually going to have to pay $500 million every season. And in my opinion, it's going to kill the game, honestly. Yeah. And it will send more teams into debt. It will fire more staff. That happened, during COVID. People had to be stuck because they couldn't afford it. More people have to be stuck. It's not just up with the players. It's going to be going down to the core of the actual clubs in general. And in my opinion, someone like Todd Boehly's ruining it, and he hasn't got a Scooby about football. In my opinion, if you don't know anything about the game, get out of it. I generally, honestly think that, and it's going to make it's honestly ridiculous.
Boehly's a headline chaser, and Dal, maybe you can add to this a little bit. He owns the LA Dodgers. Mm-hmm. And he has one of the biggest, I think it's the third biggest payroll in Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
And he just thinks, he goes out there and he gets the Mookie Bettses. He goes out there and gets like huge players and signs them to long-term deals and just plugs them in. That might work for the LA Dodgers, but as I've said before, that doesn't work for football. You need chemistry. You need people that apply to a certain system. And I don't think Boehly even close to understands that. Right,
and that goes well, like with the coaching staff. when Abramovich left, so did some of the coaching staff. So, what is this coaching staff that Todd Bowley's bringing in? That's the thing. If I was a Chelsea fan, that's what I'd be concerned about, right? Yeah, not about the amount of players we have or how we're going to play them, but who's going to coach them all, and who's going to coach the main 11 players that play in and week out? Who's going to make that decision?
Right.
Frank Lampard, right? So, they need a leader, they need a manager, and they need a business and a real top director of football to rein all that in.
Mm-hmm.
My fear is that they will rein all that in, and they're going to be one hell of a good team, because to me, they're still one of the best teams in the world on paper. Yeah. They really are. However, like Connor said, just because you're splashing the cash doesn't mean you're always buying the quality, If Modric is definitely a project, they signed him on a 7-year contract. I think that's the first time in EPL history.
That's another thing, but I'm not going to get onto that. That's
right.
Contracts.
So,
oh my God.
And so when you start running all these players on high contracts, they're going to have a real problem dishing them off.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So they're going to have an abundance of talent that's just sitting there collecting dust and a paycheck. And it goes along with the Tottenham Levy thing. Fuck if I care. It's not my club.
They got Aubameyang. They got Aubameyang. Just like, I don't even think he's played a game. He's just seen bench in the league. They didn't even activate him for the Champions League.
That was all for show.
Aubameyang is a ghost in football now. We all know how much the tide changes in a year. 6 months. Aubameyang is a shell of
he'll be playing down the road from you at LAFC, but this time next year.
I'm calling it.
I'm calling it, man. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang will be playing for LAFC this time next year. I guarantee it.
LAFC has a lot of money.
Anything in MLS.
Yeah. So, you look at players like that, and Mason Mount, who's looking to be more average than he was last season. Right. Maybe going to Liverpool, which I think is a huge mistake for them, because I don't see what Mason Mount brings to Liverpool. But I just think it's let these clubs crumble, man. Let them fucking crumble. If they want to make financial mistakes like Chelsea are, let them. If Tottenham wants to make the choices they're making in ownership and boards and management and player recruitment, let them. It's just more power for us, because at the end of the day, there's only a select 11. Going back to Chelsea, they're going to work out. A lot of those players are going to go out on loan, or their contracts are just going to be cut, because they're going to find out that they're really just not good enough, and that they've just bought a bunch of average players that can never mesh into a top 11 team. And Mikhail Mudryk, I'm sorry, he's not a starter.
They expected, and people in our deluded fan base thought he was going to come in and take over for Martinelli. Can you believe that?
Not take over, right? Because I think Martinelli, to me, is kind of a world talent. Mudryk has not, like Connor just said, Mudryk has not proved that. 9 goals in the Ukrainian league proves nothing. And Lee Gunner said it the first week we were linked to him. Lee said, I don't want him. He's got 9 goals in Shakhtar Donetsk, a few clips of him on YouTube. That doesn't make a player. And he was absolutely right. But I think that we would use him differently. We would, maybe position him differently, maybe put him on the left for Saka once in a while. So for us getting Mudryk, the money is an issue, right? I didn't want to spend 80 to 100 mil on an unproven talent. But if the money, if we had the money like Chelsea, we did bring him in. But I think we have the background, the coaching staff, and, the people to support him much more than Chelsea does right now, because Chelsea are in complete disarray. So I think there'd be more of a system if we brought Mudryk in, and we would probably – I don't think for a second he would replace Martinelli. But again, if I spent the money, I want him and Trossard. I want them both, right? I want to win the fucking trophy, and I don't care what it takes at this point. We're 8 games away from 19 years from waiting. Like I said the other day, nothing else at this point matters. I had dinner with my parents the other night. They don't understand what we're going through. They don't understand what I'm going through mentally. They don't get it. Oh, how's Arsenal? Well, they're fucking shit, Mom. Dad, fucking shit, and it's depressing, and it brings me down. Have a great dinner. I didn't say that, but that's what I feel, is that we've made mistakes this season that are going to hurt us in the end. And Chelsea and Spurs can do whatever the hell they want because at the end of the day, we're still a better squad and more prestigious club than both of them. Well, maybe not Chelsea, but that's another debate. So let Chelsea and Spurs fall on their own sword, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I agree. All right, guys.
The
Well, we're gonna.
only way. Sorry, TJ, quickly. The
Go ahead.
only way, in my opinion, that Spurs and people might just be like, "What the hell was he on about?" The only way Spurs are going to move on as a club. Well, one, Levy goes, but two, they've got to sell Harry Kane. They've got to rebuild from a solid foundation. Get rid of the likes of Lloris, and I don't want them to do this, obviously. But if I'm thinking as a Spurs fan here, by God, I wish I wasn't. I would want to rebuild, and Harry Kane, by God, he's been their best player for how many years? He's got them out of a lot of tricky situations. He's been their star man. It's unfortunate. In a sense, thinking of him, I wish he did go to a bigger club because he deserves trophies, in my opinion. As much as we do want to ban Tottenham, he's a fantastic striker, and we know from the records he's now breaking. But they've got to sell him, get a massive fee for him, and that is a player you would pay over 100 million for. By the way, that is a player you would not these 20-year-olds, these kids, right? No, you would pay that money for Harry Kane. I'd sell him if I was Tottenham, and I'd probably sell Son as well. Sell these players, and if it takes you out of Europe for a couple of years, so be it. All right, so be it. If you want to rebuild as a club and really want to control North London, as you guys seem to think you do after one win against us, if you do beat us, you've got to rebuild the squad. Unfortunately, they need a whole rebuild, and Harry Kane by himself isn't going to fix Tottenham's issues. Yes, that'll probably get them top four and probably get them out of a few tricky situations, but he ain't going to win you a title. Say that even a cup alone. As it's been proven, the under-17s have just won a trophy the other day. The Tottenham under-17s.
Oh,
They've won a trophy in more time than Tottenham have recently.
They put a DVD out.
Yeah.
Put the championship video out.
Yeah, literally. But quickly on my point, I'll finish up. They've got to rebuild, and unfortunately, you've got to let go. Say bygones be bygones. You've got to let go of Son and Kane. You've got to rebuild. The likes of Kulusevski, I'd bring him in and rebuild the team around someone like him. He's a fantastic talent. Bentancur has been really good for them. Rebuild on these solid factions. Unfortunately, under Levy, I don't think they'll do it because he's a cheapskate. But if they if they do get in new owners, that's what they've got to do. But they've just got to sell Kane, man.
They won't
bring him to Arsenal.
Not to absolutely crap on your point, but they won't, and they'll continue their mediocrity, and long may it continue.
Yeah,
and there are a lot of very, very knowledgeable Spurs fans that say exactly what you're saying, Connor. But the other 50% of the fan base won't let it happen, and they'll let Levy continue to do what he's doing. So that brings us full circle to Premier League predictions. We're going in. All right, guys, and I'm only on one screen, so I may not see some of the chat. So if I need to highlight something on the chat, just go ahead and shout it out. Go ahead and shout it out. Jaminho, I will pick up your predictions.
Can I just say, TJ?
Go ahead, Jez.
I don't give a crap about what happens at Tottenham. I don't give a crap what happens at Chelsea. I really don't. It's irrelevant.
Yeah,
it's what we talk about right now is what's happening at Arsenal. Tottenham.
Yeah, and we're about to get into it.
Tottenham and Chelsea are irrelevant. They're nowhere, and may long it continue. The fact of the matter is,
I don't see them getting top four, Jez.
In your chat, you've had people saying, "Is Arteta the man to take us further on with other championships?" No. Sorry, he is not the man. And I don't care all the haters and all that. The fact of the matter is, you need to be top class. And he's done exceptionally well. I won't deny that. And I will applaud him and say, well done. But if you're good, you go again.
Yep.
And I don't think he has that ability. Sorry.
And that's what worries me, Jez, is that we're going to be labeled, this will be labeled a Leicester City season. And that's going to just eat at me if we win it this year and finish, let's say 6th the next season, then this is all really, I mean, we'll have the trophy, but it's the continuation, the dominance that we want, right? It's the 3 or 4 seasons of really, really, really giving it a go, and getting some silverware out of it. Man City have won 4 out of the last 5 titles. We need to do the same, and it starts here. It starts here, But if we win this and next season again is shit, then we're all gonna be right in the same spot. Talking about the same things, the same players, not performing when they needed to, and it's gonna be heartbreaking. That's why I think that we've said before we needed to invest heavy in January, and we need to invest heavy this summer, and just get some of those mediocrity players out of there and fill them with class talent. That's the only way it's gonna work.
Agreed. Very, very good points. Okay, guys, we're going to go ahead and get into. Good.
West Ham have won 4-1 against Ghent in the Europa League. I mean,
and Man United have bombed out.
I'm sorry, that would have been embarrassing for West Ham if they didn't win that game. I know they've had a really bad season, but how can you not win that competition? I'm sorry. Like, how, as a Premier League side, and no disrespect to it, like the Belgian league, how can you not win that side as a Premier League side? I'm sorry. And they've got some decent players in that team as well. But hey, anyway, good on them. I actually hope they win it. Honestly, I do have a bit of a soft spot for West Ham, bar the other weekend. But yeah.
All right, fair enough. Okay, guys, all I can see is my screen. Can you guys see the scores?
Yes, we can.
All right, here we go. All right, and great point, Jez. Great point, Jez. They are irrelevant, but I just like bannering them sometimes. That's all. I'm shameless like that. Okay, last week we had a tie for first place. Dow and Uncle Rod's doing the madness, getting 6, sharing it. Jaminho, I know you're still in the chat. Stinker, my man, stinker. It's okay though. You'll come back again this time. We had Amir in second place with Jez sharing that second place crown, and then me bringing up third. Great job, Teach. Great job. Jeez, what a stinker. All right, let's move on to this week, and we were getting into it. I didn't get any. I didn't tune into your show, Jez, yet. I'm going to watch it on playback, but let's start with you, my friend. What is the score of the Arsenal game going to be? Southampton visiting the Emirates.
5-0 Arsenal.
Yes. Chest. He's saying it with chest. I love it. Let's go, Dal. What do you think?
I'm going 3-1. I think we'll slip up and give up a goal.
Okay.
Rob
2-0, TJ. 2-0.
2-0 Arsenal. I'm going 4-0 Arsenal. We got to do it. And we got to do it in style. Leeds United visiting Fulham. This is an interesting one. Jez, we'll start with you.
Arsenal 3-0.
All right. We still good? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we lost Dal there for a minute because he had to take a phone call. Yeah. Jez, what do you think? Leeds United Fulham.
I'm gonna go 2-0 Fulham.
Okay.
We've lost your camera, by the way, TJ.
Yeah, it's because I gotta hold on. It has lost connection to the camera. Oh, great. Okay, hold on. It says click the camera button and try again. Why did it do that? Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what is going on here.
Got a lot of screens
open. There we go. Yeah, I got a lot of screens open because I don't have my 3 monitors. It's peak right now. Okay, is that better?
Yeah.
Let's keep going. This is why I'm never doing this from just a laptop again. Dal, you're back?
Yeah, Fulham Leeds. Oh man, Leeds are shit. I'm gonna go Fulham 2-0.
Fulham 2-0.
Yeah.
Okay.
Connor? Top you the whole week, Jez.
Yeah, Leeds are crap, aren't they? Yeah, I'm going to go for. Then again, Fulham, and they got Butler. Now I go for a 3-0 Fulham.
I think Leeds can score. I'm going 3-1. I'm going 3-1 Fulham. Do you guys have Jaminios? Has he put that one in yet?
He put 1-0 Fulham.
1-0 Fulham. Okay.
Yeah, Darren in there too.
Is Darren in there? Okay, I'll go.
Change Amir to Darren.
Yep. All right. What does Darren got for Arsenal?
2-2, and then he's got 3-0 Fulham.
Jeez. Okay. Come on, Darren. You got to 2-2, Darren.
Really?
Solo.
Gee.
Man, and I thought I was negative. Okay. Everton visiting Crystal Palace, Selhurst Park.
That's gonna be boring.
Jezza.
Wow.
I'll go. I'll happily say that'll be a draw. Literally, that's gonna be such a boring game.
I'm gonna go 1-1.
1-1 draw. That's gonna be such a tell.
Palace with Woy. They've won the last two. They won. Who'd they beat 4 or 5-0 the other day? 4-1 or something, right?
It was Leeds.
Leeds,
of course. Well, Everton are a little different kettle of fish, so I'm going to go 2-1 Crystal Palace.
Connor.
1-0 Crystal Palace. Eze's been on fire. I reckon he'll score.
I'm going Everton at Selhurst Park, though. I'm going 3-0 Crystal Palace.
Wow.
Everton proved they can score, but Crystal Palace, Selhurst Park, I just don't see it.
Jiminho put 1-0 Crystal Palace as well.
There you go. Darren.
Or Spencer too, if you want to add Spencer. Real eye. Spencer's got 0-0.
Darren's gone 2-1 Everton.
2-1 Everton.
Spencer's got 1-1 for Fulham and Leeds.
No, he's gone. Sorry, Palace 2, Everton 1. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. No problem. I just can't see the chat, guys. So keep shouting them out.
So Spencer is 0-0 for Crystal Palace and Everton.
Okay.
3-0 for the Arsenal game to Arsenal.
That's what I like to hear.
And for Fulham Leeds, he's
I think
got
it's 1-1.
1-1, yeah.
Okay, 1-1 draw. All right, we got Forest visiting Liverpool. This is going to be a murder.
Yeah. Oh, don't actually know this one.
What do you think, Connor?
For this one, Liverpool versus Forest. Oh, I want to go for. I do think Liverpool win it because Forest have been really bad. So, but I feel like they will sneak one. I'm going to go for 3-1 Liverpool.
Jazz.
Liverpool Forest. Liverpool Forest. Let me consult. Let me consult.
Get your magic crystal ball out, Jez. Your 8 ball.
Liverpool 8th. I'm going 3-0 Liverpool.
3-0 Liverpool. Dow.
I'm gonna go 4-1 Liverpool.
They are on fire. So
yeah, I'm cheating. I'm cheating off of Dow. That was exactly what I was gonna say. I'm going 4-1 Liverpool. Cheating off of them.
We got Darren 3-1 Forest. Oh, 3-1 Liverpool. Sorry, 3-1 Liverpool.
I was gonna say, Darren, I want what you're drinking, my friend. What, Jaminho?
Yeah.
4-0 Liverpool. And then Spencer 3-0. Oh no, 4-1 Liverpool. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. This is an interesting one. Good evening, Aston Villa visiting Brentford. This is an interesting one.
This is difficult.
Jess, what do you think?
Ooh, we're a 6. Brentford 9. I'm looking on Google, so it's not in my head.
Yep.
This. Well, I mean, God, blimey, Brentford, Aston Villa.
That's a tough one.
Really, I'm going to go 2-0. I'm going to go 2-1 2-1 Aston Villa.
Okay,
Good prediction.
that's a good prediction. That's close to what I was looking at. Connor.
Yeah, Villa have been really good, haven't they? But then again, it's Brentford at home. I'm gonna go for a solid 2-2 because I just can't decide.
Dow. Sorry, Dow.
I'm gonna go 3-1 Villa because they are really flying right now. And Brentford's defense is okay, but Villa's just got too many weapons.
I'm going 2-1 Villa. Unai Emery's got them cooking. Absolutely cooking.
Yeah.
Do you want to read them out, Dow? The other scores for me.
Yeah.
Darren's got 3-1 Villa.
Who knew he was a good manager? Who knew?
Jaminho's got Aston Villa 2-1.
Cheat off me, Jaminho.
And Spencer had Liverpool 3, Forest 1. I think. Did I read that right?
No,
4-1. Sorry, I was looking at Darren's. 4-1 Liverpool for Spencer.
Oh, yep, I got that already.
Yeah,
what do we got for Villa?
2-1 to Villa for Spencer.
Okay, cool.
I'm way behind. Sorry, guys.
It's all good. It's all good.
No,
It's all good. The amount of tech issues I've had this week, it's literally you have nothing to apologize for. Wolves visiting the lowly, going down Leicester City. Jez, we'll start with you.
Wolves, Leicester City. I am going to go a 1-1. I'll tell you for why. Leicester were fighting for their lives.
Yep.
And looking here. Yeah, I mean, not a lot of great difference in the goal difference. In fact, Leicester are better. So, I'm going 1-1.
1-1 draw. Okay, Connor.
Yeah, like the difference between goal scorers, like Wolves have scored barely any goals this season. So I'm actually going to go for a Leicester win here. I'm going to go for a 2-1 to Leicester.
I figured this one will have a little bit some different answers. Dow.
I'm gonna go 3-2 Leicester. I think there's goals in there. Both teams need to score.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Wolves can't score. Wolves aren't great at scoring. I think I read. Well, both of these teams are terrible at scoring. They're like lower rung. I'm cheating off Connor. I'm going 2-1 Leicester City.
But I must say that Leicester City gave City a fight in that last 15 minutes.
Yeah,
They did. They showed they can fight.
Just to kind of go on a sideways, if we can perform like that for the full 90 minutes, we can get something out of that game at the end.
We are going to be talking so much about Man City, Arsenal, starting tomorrow night that I'm just mentally preparing myself. I'm not even going to lie to you. Darren.
he put 2-1 to Wolves.
Hey, there you go.
Jaminho put 1-0 to Wolves. And then Spencer done 2-1 to Leicester.
Man. All right. We got the Birds visiting Newcastle. I know what I'm going on this one, but Jez, what do you think?
Ooh, blimey.
This is a tough one.
Spurs have got a terrible, terrible record at Newcastle United. It's interesting, man. I'm going to go 2-0 Newcastle.
Okay.
They've got the second best in the league. Tottenham have got a shocking defence. I'm going 2-0. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go. I'm going to go for. Sound quite mad. I'm going to go for a 4-2 to Newcastle.
4-2.
Yeah.
That's
Goals.
what I was gonna say.
Connor's gone big.
Yeah. I do reckon that Newcastle have their shooting boots on the St. James's.
Did you
Mhm.
did you say the same, Dal?
I was going to, but now I'm going to go 4-0. I just don't see Spurs scoring there. You know, I mean, Harry Kane maybe.
Yeah.
You know, they're so bad. But I was really really close to 4-2. But I'm not. But fuck Spurs, they're not going to score 4-0.
Darren.
Darren's put 3-1 to Newcastle.
Okay.
Juninho's done 2-0 Newcastle. And Spencer as well has done 3-1 to Newcastle. All Newcastle.
Yeah, I'm fucking done. But and I apologize for my language, but I am done putting any faith in Spurs in these predictions. I'm going 4-1 Newcastle.
Watch them win 1-0.
Yeah. No, I will be fuming if that happens. Fuming. All right, and then this last one, it's a little interesting. Middle bottom here. West Hampton visiting the Cherries. Jez?
Tricky, man.
Yeah.
Tricky. I'm just having a chat with Harry Redknapp here off camera. And, yeah, Harry's telling me. Harry's giving the insight.
Remember, Jess, he almost got Spurs relegated.
Yeah, that was good though, wasn't it? That was good.
They bought in Valde Ramos, right, or somebody like that.
3 weeks ago, I went past his house at Sandbanks. Old Harry. He didn't invite me in though. Shithead.
Prick.
Could have. He invited me. I'm gonna go. This is tricky. I'm gonna go Bournemouth 1-0.
Wouldn't put it past them. Connor?
Back last weekend.
Yeah, these two sides have been pretty close. Well, one on the table and two in terms of goal difference. Bournemouth have conceded more, but Bournemouth have been really good in these last two games. They just beat Tottenham on a really good game. But then the West Ham have had a good game tonight. Will they have good form going in for the weekend? It is an away day. I'm going to go for a 2-1 Bournemouth.
Okay. Dal?
I'm going to agree with Connor, but I'm going to go the other way. 2-1 West Ham because they're coming off a Genk ass kicking, and we know how tough Genk is.
You read my mind, Dal. I'm cheating off you again. I'm going 2-1 West Ham United as well. I think they're going to beat them. But you can't discount Bournemouth though. They've had a really good run of form, but I think it ends.
I thought last weekend to win, right?
Yep.
They came down a goal down to win.
Oh, it made me so happy. I was crying, laughing, honestly.
Oh, it's Tottenham. That's right.
Yeah, it was Tottenham. It was
Right.
so funny. It was so funny. That club is just.
I forgot it was Tottenham. That's right.
What a dumpster fire of a club.
Mourinho said it, 4 wins in their last 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Darren's gone
Darren's saying.
2-1 Bournemouth.
Darren's just cheating off Jez.
Juninho's gone for a 2-2 draw. And Spencer's gone for a 1-1 draw.
All right. Well, those are the predictions. I'm going to close my screen because I'm tired of not seeing you guys' lovely faces.
Don't forget to hit the save button.
Yep, it automatically saved because I am that guy. My freaking camera went again. Hold on. I'm never doing this again, boys. I'm never doing this again. Stopping the screen. Boom. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and go around because I know Connor's got to get out of here. Yep. So let's go around the horn, give your final thoughts for this weekend, and shout out your channels, and we will get it on out of here. Let's start with you. Let's start with Jez. Shout yourself out, man.
Yeah, guys, great channel. I'll tell you what, Idiot Show. You got to change the title, man, because there's no idiots on here. It's crazy. Anyway, but there we are. Yeah, it's Arsenal history and more. And talk all things about Arsenal and all that. Great people on. These three here are regulars. It's all good fun. We don't talk crap. We talk facts. And we're realists and we talk it how it is. So Arsenal history on YouTube and on Insta, it's Jez, just Collins.jez. And then we have our chat room on there, the real Arsenal. And that's what we talk about.
I agree. Thank you, Darren. I respect you too, my friend. Connor's shut yourself out.
Yeah, no, I do editing work for everyone. I'm an editor. Just on here to voice my opinion. And yeah, I've done editing work for all these guys here. I've really getting myself around now, aren't I? Yeah, I've done work for everyone here, and probably some people in the chat maybe today. I'm not too sure. I do think actually not. Yeah, maybe not too sure. But yeah, I've got an Instagram page which is below here. So please do go check it out. CMO.editing. Feel free to give me a direct message on Instagram, and I'll be happy to talk to anyone about that if they need help with their Twitters, their Instagrams, YouTubes, any social media. Feel free to let me know, and I'll be happy to work with you for some editing work.
Absolutely. Thank you, Connor. A+ work, and you're about to see the outro.
Yes.
We go to Dal. Shout yourself out.
Hello, everyone. You all know me. Just please sub. I'd like to get to 100 subs. It would be nice to get to 100 subs.
Get him to 100 subs tonight.
I didn't know you were on YouTube.
Bro, I'm always playing the FIFA and talking shit. You know, come out and say hi, Jez. My heart's broken.
Why did
You need to set the notifications.
No. I didn't know you were on bleeding YouTube, man. So I'm going to go and check this out right now. Okay.
There you go. See, everybody in the chat, sub to Oregon Goon. Let's get him to 100 subs immediately. Expeditiously.
I don't want to do that. Yeah,
I'm already subbed, and I already dropped.
So,
I already drop in and talk shit.
You're the man, TJ.
Yeah,
So my final thoughts are that we can still win the league, but we absolutely have to win out every game, barring the City game. I'm praying for a draw. I don't think we'll beat them. But my final thoughts are, you guys, let's stick together. Let's be patient, be positive. You know, again, this is the first time in 19 years we're in this position. Let's just try and stay as positive as we can. We know we want Arteta out. We know there's better out there. We want better first. For Adu, we want better for the club. But let's just keep it together, keep our sanity together.
Yeah.
Let's go get a win tomorrow, and then let's not worry about the opposition. We can't control that. But all we can control is our attitudes, our behaviors, and our love for the club. And, you know, we are 4 points up. You know, we're not even on points, right? So we are on the upside. You know, previous seasons, we've seen City and Liverpool 1 point, 1 point, 1 point. That is not the case here. We have a substantial chunk ahead. But we've got to do what we got to do, TJ, Connor, Jez. We just got to do what we got to do. We have to get the job done.
Right, you've just spoken pure facts now. Pure facts.
Raw is just not going to do. We have to be at our absolute best tomorrow, and I'm pretty sure we'll pull out a dub tomorrow.
Pure facts, man.
Pure facts. All right. TJ Warren TV. Smash the sub. Smash the like. Go ahead. Go ahead, Jess.
You do Call of Duty.
I do, because I'm a soldier at heart.
I do
that.
It. He's good, Jez. He's really good. Get Jez on Call of Duty. I want a Jez Oregon Gooner.
I'll go and sub on my. I'll just sub. This is my personal jobby channel.
Okay.
I'll sub you my Arsenal history crap one.
Perfect.
And good man.
Thank you. Yeah, a lot of my channel is just gaming stuff, as a lot of people know. But during the Arsenal, when I play FIFA, I talk to like Jaminho jumps on there, Diego, TJ, Connor's jumped on once or twice.
Yep.
I do chat Arsenal stuff while I'm playing. So if you guys just have something to say, feel free to jump on when I'm on. I don't have a streaming schedule. I sort of just jump on whenever.
Yeah,
but I'm
big up Oregon. Good.
I'm crap. I'm crap at it.
I'll teach you some things, Jazz. I've been playing for quite a while.
Yeah. I watched him absolutely destroy.
Quickly, Dad, what do you play on? What console do you play on?
I have 2 PS5, so I play here in the office and I play in the living
Should we do a 1v1 for a stream? We'll do a 1v1.
Oh my!
You want some of that fun? You want some of that stuff? Okay. ARK in the building.
How bad I am. I'll tell you how bad I am. Right. My son runs a YouTube gaming channel, right? He lives in New Zealand now, and he came over 3 years ago, just before my dad died, to say goodbye to him. And I said, James, I'm in this bloody game. I can't get out of this place. And he went on there. 20 seconds, he got me out of there. And I said, how'd you do that? He said, well, it's easy. I said, He said, Dad, you're shit.
Aww.
What game was it, Jazz?
That was game of Call of Duty Ghosts.
Oh, right. Okay. Classic game.
PS4. And I said, well, what do you mean? He said, Dad, it's easy. He said, you just don't know how to do the controls. So I said, yeah, you're right there. That's fair play.
Yeah. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get us out of here. TJ Warren TV, smash a like, smash a sub. I'm not going to be doing any post-game content on my channel, but tune into Jez. I'm sure he's going to be doing it after the game tomorrow. Jez, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I'm sure that's going to be happening. I'm going to be doing a wedding. I'm here in Denver, Colorado. Yep. I'm here in Denver, Colorado. I'm going to be doing that. I'm also going to be watching the Avalanche kick the absolute shit out of Seattle tonight, game 2. Spencer, I know you're an Avalanche fan. I see that you're wearing a Broncos stuff in your profile pictures. So big Denver sports guy. I'm with you. The next thing I might do, I might do a call-in show on Sunday once I get back to Kansas City. Depends on how I feel. But definitely going to be doing a preview show for the Man City game either Monday or Tuesday. So check that out. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Smash a like, smash a sub. Smash a like and smash a sub for all of these absolute legends, and enjoy the premiere of the TJ Warren TV outro. Come on, you Gunners. We're going to get it done.